Hey peeps, how you doing? Oh, it's taking me ages just to sit down. Bit of a injury update for you, considering it's been a week since I last spoke to you. As you can see, I'm still padded up, unfortunately. The stitches have been removed from the left elbow, and I've still got one on my foot, a cut that is on kind of where the tongue of your shoe is. I've still got a kind of hole in this left knee, a bigger hole in the right knee, and I've still got one pad on my shoulder. I went to the hospital like 3 days after I got back from Canada, and they basically took it upon themselves to look after me, which is brilliant. It saves me stressing about it. So they put me on antibiotics almost straight away, because the hip was infected, the shoulder was infected, and the knee was like a little bit iffy, so I didn't know whether or not that would kick off. So I was on antibiotics. Well, I still am on antibiotics at the end tomorrow. So going back to the hospital tomorrow morning, I'm gonna get stripped off and redressed again, hopefully with less bandages. So each time I've been going back, I've been having like less and less bandages put on. So if you remember from like the pictures of like the crashes and stuff, if you saw them on my Instagram, my back was pretty much like all the left side of my back had road rash on. So the good news is that has cleared, and even like the scabs and everything have gone, so I've got like completely new skin. You know, and you can see like my arm there, like the different colour. So like that is, you know, that's kind of healed pretty well, and it hasn't I haven't been picking it and things. So that's gone well. Nice bit of road rash on here. You might be able to see it's coming on pretty good as well, actually. I know it looks raw and angry, but it's actually like, it's actually pretty good. Whoa. And as far as everything else goes, like my sleep hasn't been affected at all. For those of you who don't live in the UK, but we're going through like some really weird weather at the minute. It's like 30 degrees every day, and it has been for like the last week at least, and it's set to continue for like another 5 days at least. So it's quite difficult for me, like with, you know, plasters and bandages and whatnot, because particularly the knees, like the last 24 hours they've become like really itchy, and obviously I can't itch them. So yeah, that's not good news. So hopefully, like when I have these removed tomorrow, chances are I'll have them put back on again, like a fresh lot on my knees at least. I'm hoping like the ankle will be fine, I'm hoping this will be fine, and I'm hoping this and my hip will be fine. If all those come off, like I'll be so happy. But it's just the knees that are the main cause for the concern, just because I need my knees for pedaling, and you know, they're just taking their sweet time. So we're gonna see what happens tomorrow. I'll let you know what they say. Okay, well, went to the hospital this morning and had what I thought would be quite a few bandages taken off. I did have a fair few taken off, but the majority have stayed on. The elbow, it's just got like a soft plaster on it now, but to be honest, I could take that off. They said the stitching has, you know, done its job. It's all healed. There's one, obviously that one can come off as well, like that's pretty much healed. The two knees are, well, yeah, they're still gonna need attention, so I'm going back in another 2 or 3 days to have those repatched. The problem is, because of the gouge, like the trench that's running through them, like she said I'm probably going to end up with like a tiny hole there, so like the skin is never actually going to fully grow back. So there's going to be a little bit of a hole there. It will eventually grow back, but it's going to take, you know, a few years to do that. But she said like as soon as it like starts to heal properly, I mean that's the thing, like today, although they were looking, what they said was the cuts are looking worse, but that means they're getting better, if that makes any sense. So basically like the scab forming around the outside and things like that, although it looks worse, like physically looks worse, it's actually, you know, it's body, your body is doing the correct thing to make it heal. So, you know, they're coming on like perfectly. The infection I had on my shoulder in the road rash and my hip has reduced significantly. Today is my last course of antibiotics. I am now, well, as of tomorrow, I'm free of them, so I won't be taking any more of that stuff, hopefully. But the hip and that, you know, it's like that kind of size now. It's like my fingernail size, so it's reduced massively. So that in itself has got a tiny little Advisorb pad. So those are the pads that kind of got me on, which kind of draws out any of the kind of gunk and stuff. So that's what I'm on there. Like I said, tiny little squares, so they'll be. But apart from that, I am super well. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying the weather outside at the minute. I know I shouldn't be sitting out here with bare legs, but I'm literally out here for 30 seconds to talk to you lot. So as far as recovery goes, like, still got no time frame on it. It's been 12 days now, so I'm thinking like maybe, well, we'll see where we are in another week. Like, it's not even July yet, but we'll see. I had a really good evening in last night, watching the British TT champs. Yeah, G1, I think we could kind of see that coming with his recent results. You know, it's kind of a given that he's obviously on good form, and with the tour coming as well, you know, you have to be. You know, Harry Tanfield did a really good ride for second, but you know, again, that's half expected, I guess. James Gullen, obviously my teammate, pulled out what I think is probably one of the rides of the event, being that you know, Japan wasn't that long ago, and he ended up kind of coming away with a dodgy hand from that race, from a crash, broken or not, I'm not sure what it was, and a lot of rib damage. So he's come away from that with some really good form, which is great to see, because obviously the National Road Champs are this weekend. Yeah, so it was a good event, and because it was streamed live on like Facebook Live and YouTube Live, I thought I'd jump on board on the YouTube Live stuff, and I was in the comment section and like answering some kind of queries and stuff, and getting involved with some of the banter that a lot of you were dishing out there. So that was really fun. So it kept me entertained while I had my legs up last night. So yeah, I don't know when I'm going to check in with you next, but it probably won't be until at least I go back to the hospital, which is today's Friday. So it could be Sunday, could be Monday, depends on how the bandages feel. This weather is not great for wearing plasters and thick pads, so I'm getting by. I'm just trying not to go outside or move about too much, which, as you can imagine, is quite difficult. I'm trying not to eat too much either, but I've definitely put on a fair few pounds. I think, yeah, it's a fair few pounds. But I'm not worried. Like, you know, a lot of people have been asking me, being that I've been off now for 2 weeks, like, how do you feel about losing fitness and things like that? And to be honest with you, like, you know, I coach people, and you know, I've coached myself for a number of years. Obviously I don't coach myself now, but when I did, like, I knew what happens when you take time off, and this is almost like a kind of an off season for me, although in the off season I take, you know, almost a full month off. So far I've had 2 weeks, and there's quite a few scientific studies that say that you don't start losing really any kind of fitness until after 14 days. There's a few changes at like kind of cellular level, but it's very minute, as you can imagine. So it's not until after that period that you start to lose things, and the only thing you tend to lose is that very, very upper end stuff. So again, you know, I don't have much of that anyway. So getting back to that is not, it's not like I'm taking a massive leap. So I'm not too stressed about it. I'm just kind of conscious of the fact I'm missing this beautiful weather. But coming back, you know, say if I get back on the bike even in 2 weeks time, so it'll be mid-July, I'm hoping to race again by the end of July, so I'll have like 2 weeks of like maybe a fair bit of training, or at least, you know, at least some form of riding, and then I'll be back to normality then, hopefully in August. September, October, obviously I like to do the hill climbs in October, so hopefully they'll still be on the menu. So yeah, that's where we stand at the minute, but I'm in a good place, and I'm looking forward to getting back on the bike now. Yeah.